Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we have a long one. She's a big build, 64 by 64 lot. So go grab a snack, go get a drink, and let's get into the build. So today I am doing a build that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now. I am really excited about this one. Honestly, one of my most insane builds I think I've ever done. Last summer, I decided to build like a rooftop nightclub. This year we're one-upping it, and we are making a 64 by 64 lot music festival. So your Sims can go to Simchella, but it's only DJs, okay? We are in an EDM realm here, okay? This is like where your Sims come to let loose, have fun, wear really fun outfits. And actually on my TikTok, I posted some Simspo for some rave outfits for your Sims. So if you haven't followed me there, go check it out. And yeah, let's jump into this build. Right now I started in Debug. That's how you know this is gonna be bad. When you start in Debug, I feel like it's just like setting yourself up for failure. You're like, fuck, what is about to happen? And I really went in. Okay, I thought, you know what? This is something that I'm really passionate about. I love raving. I love going to festivals. I think they're so much fun. And it's just such a good, feel-good environment. And I love EDM. I love dance music. So I was like, let me bring that passion into The Sims. And that's exactly what I did. And when I tell you, I spent so much time on this build. It was like over 6 hours long. 6. That is crazy. I don't think I've actually ever spent that long on a build ever. I'm honestly very, very proud of this one. And right now you'll see I'm just like cluttering up the space with everything from Debug that I can find that I felt like would fit in the music festival. So I started off by building in the Center Park lot in San Myshuno, because I thought it would be really cool, and I loved the backdrop of it. I loved the water and seeing the city in the background, but you cannot change this lot type. I didn't know that. I have personally never built on this lot, so I really had no fucking clue. And I found out about like halfway through. I was like, oh. Oh. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna nix this idea, and I moved it to a different 64 by 64 lot in a little bit. But right now we are starting work on the first stage. And legend has it, this took even more time than it's taking them to rebuild Brooklyn Mirage. I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but anyway, it's taking, that place is not gonna be open in 4 days. Like, they have shows set for May 1st, and there's still wood showing everywhere. That's just like not correct. So good luck to everyone that is trying to see Sarah Landry at Brooklyn Mirage May 1st. That's not gonna happen, babe. I'm so sorry. But now this is like the shape of the first stage. So I wanted this to kind of feel like the main stage. This was like the biggest one. There ends up being like a bar on top of there. I obviously know it's not super realistic. I'm getting my foot up. I'm like trying to get comfortable. Okay, I'm gonna be here a while. So there's like a little trailer behind it. That's like the employees only room. So I set this build up as a small business. So your Sims can actually own this and run it, or you can have another Sim own it, run it, and you can just show up as a festival goer. So running it as a small business, there's the ticket kiosks up at the front, very similar to a music festival where you have to come in, buy your ticket, and you're in for the day. And there's obviously like a bunch of different things that you can buy like when you're in there, but for the most part, you're paying for the experience of the DJs and everything like that. So I don't entirely know how it's going to work if another Sim owns it. I don't know if you're gonna have to hire the DJs yourself or the vendors and stuff like that. So that is definitely something that I'm gonna test out in my legacy challenge with my Sim when they age up into an adult, because right now they're a teen and they cannot go to a music festival. They're not allowed. I personally am probably going to set this build up as like adults, young adults to elders only. And that way there's no like kids running around. Like, it's definitely not a kid environment at all. It's basically an outdoor club. And I want to like I wanted to build something that like, I don't know, like I'm passionate about, that is something that I do outside of, everything else that I do. And I just love dance music. It's so fun. And this year alone, I've discovered a lot of new DJs. Thank you, Ultra, in Miami. I'm very happy about that. That was one of my favorite experiences I've ever had. And so it's definitely like broadened my horizons more and has shown me so many different things. So I wanted to bring that into The Sims. And I wish the DJing skill in The Sims was a bit deeper. Like I wish it was a 10 level skill instead of a 5, but I get it. It came in a pack that wasn't centered around DJing, so that's fine. But the fact that we even have DJing in the game is sick. So I fucked with a lot of lighting on this build. There's a lot of lights, there's a lot of different shapes that I built. So this stage ends up not even looking like this. Like I ended up changing most of it, but I love the setup. So there's 3 outdoor stages and then 1 indoor like warehouse stage vibe. And there's a couple bars around the area and bars inside of the warehouse that I end up building. There's 2 little like vendor villages that like your Sims can go. There's picnic benches. They can eat, drink, whatever they need. And then there's also a little campsite. So if your Sims, you can basically leave a small business open for 23 hours and then close for an hour and open back up. So the way I would probably play is like close it for an hour, open back up, and your Sim's still there basically. And just use the tents that are there and your Sims can stay here and you can pretend you're at like a multi-day festival. Right now I'm placing a couple different like fireworks and lighting. And so the fireworks, you will have to cheat to get to work. So in order to even get up here, you're going to have to, what's that word? Not transport. Hello? What the fuck's the word I'm thinking of? Teleport. Your Sims are gonna have to teleport up there, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be super realistic. I just like wanted to put them up there because I thought it would look cool. Like when the DJ's down there and like the fireworks are going off. I love that. So right now I put up a little barricade and now you see all the lighting going and it looks so cool. I just imagine my Sims coming here. It's probably not gonna be like a super packed sort of small business, but something I've noticed is like small businesses get really busy. So I feel like there will actually be a lively atmosphere here. And I did end up putting in all of those like invisible dance floors from the Party Essentials kit. So if you do have that kit and you download this, your Sims will have a space where like they all dance and you can congregate and create a group and all like move everyone to one stage if you want. So there's different ways to definitely get around it. Now you'll see like this is definitely like the stage taking shape. And at first I had this little like love ride in here because I just thought it would be cool. And then I ended up taking it out because I was like, I want a 4th stage, right? I really did. I was like, this needs to be the coolest fucking thing I've ever built. So I basically picked like different themes for a lot of them, but they all have this sort of like robotic, futuristic sort of vibe. I did in fact use a lot of Journey to Batuu decor. I don't know, it just felt super cool and like industrial and futuristic. And so I used a lot of that. There's like some space themes at certain stages and I just had so much fun building this that I want to build another one. This is like really bringing me back to Showtime in The Sims 3. Let me talk about that pack for a second because that is one of my favorite fucking Sims packs of all time out of any Sims game ever. Showtime was so good in The Sims 3. And the fact that your Sims were able to like actually perform on stage and they had stage props that you can use and like every time your Sims would perform you could basically build out a whole new stage. Like that was so sick and they definitely need to do something like that again because I ate that shit up. And if we do get a bands pack this year, which I am manifesting that we will, I need something like that. Like I need to be able to create a venue. That is basically that's what this is. And I want to be able to like actually build a venue from scratch and do something like this where you have a Sims music festival that your Sims can go to. They did like that pop-up one, the Sim Sessions in like 2021 with BB Rexa, Glass Animals, and then there was someone else and I forget who it was, but they basically had like a pop-up in the game that you could go and do like a Sims music festival for a couple days. I thought that was really cool and I wish they would do something else like that again. I really enjoyed that. And I remember I was like locked the fuck in and my friends were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Guys, like I literally cannot hang out today. I'm at a music festival." And they were like, "What?" Little did they know it was me watching BB Rexa perform in The Sims. But listen, okay? It was really cool. I enjoyed it. So you'll see now, this is the second stage. It's a little bit smaller, but this is more of like the space themed stage. So I put like a giant robot toy I sized up, and there's like a little rocket figurine that I sized up, and I put a light inside of this like bubble thing from, I want to say it was either Strangerville or Get to Work. I really don't remember. And it was just like a lot of like little shit like that I was putting in. And another thing is those like laser lights from the DJ booth. I want like a light item like that. So if we end up getting the bands pack, when we end up getting the bands pack, let me correct myself, sorry about that. When we end up getting the bands pack, I want something like that. I want to have a light that does lasers like that. I feel like that would be so sick. The third stage, and this is the rounded elevated stage. So your Sims can actually access this and get up there. There's going to be seating. There's a bar up there as well. But your Sims can also dance on the floor and see there's like a fountain under the stage. I loved that stage. Like, if I saw something like that in real life, I would absolutely ascend. I would ascend. So this is like my dream build, honestly. I had more fun building this than anything ever. My friends were like, "Where are you? What are you doing?" All week after work, I would shut my laptop and log on. I was locked the fuck in. I had ideas going all throughout the day. Like, there was one day where I'm sitting there and I'm just like, in my notes, just like writing down like, okay, do this, add that. And I feel like that ended up working out for me because it came out really fucking cool. I'm really into warehouses lately. I was telling my one friend who also plays The Sims, I was like, "Dude, I'm doing the sickest build I've ever done." And I was like, I even added like a warehouse stage. And she goes, "You and these fucking warehouses." Because I keep telling them every week and I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to this warehouse show. I'm going to this warehouse show." They're like, "Girl, enough. And now I'm doing it in The Sims. Okay, or that's fine. But guys, I am already in talks with my friends of doing another music festival next year. We definitely want to do Ultra again. It was so much fun. And I just like love the idea of like the outfits and being there. It was just such like a incredible experience, and being with people that I love and just dancing and having such a good time and hearing music that I grew up listening to. It was such, oh my God, I cannot talk about it enough. And we're like talking about doing this festival and that festival, and I just have so many plans. It's really bad, actually. Like, I probably should stop, but I won't. So sorry about it. Sorry, Mom. Whatever, she'll get over it. She'll live. And at first I used this ticket stand from high school years Debug, but it just really didn't fit the vibe that I was going for. So I ended up actually building just like a square with a bunch of windows. And at first I was going to put like a gnome or something stupid in it, but then I was like, I don't need that. I ended up just like putting windows, and it looks like a ticket booth, but you just end up using the two little ticket kiosks when you walk in. So you can enter on either side, and that's how you enter in the music festival. Now I am really digging into the warehouse section. So I ended up using the barricade again. So that is a fence actually from Businesses and Hobbies. They have like a new build shell in Businesses and Hobbies where it looks like it's like an unfinished warehouse. And I definitely have some ideas for that as well. Since we know I love a warehouse, who knows what I'm gonna end up doing with it. It's probably gonna be a club. Let's be real. I ended up using that throughout all the stages because I just thought it looked realistic and it looked really cool. So this stage in here, I would say is like, it's very purple blue vibes, and it just like, it has a bar. It just kind of, ooh, hello, what the fuck was that? it just feels like a club. So that was kind of like that was the vibe I was going for here. That was the vibe I was curating, right? So now I am working on like the logistics basically of the warehouse part of it and adding in so many different things and really fucking with the lighting. So the lighting was a huge part of this part of the build because I wanted it to feel vibrant inside and not just like some random building in the middle of this huge festival, right? So I made it very purple and blue inside, and I ended up using that glow wallpaper from, I believe it's Spa Day or something. It's ugly. It is, but it works in a vibe like this, you know? And the Party Essential lights came in so perfect. The Party Essentials kit is all over this place, and that to me was really fun to just play with the lighting. And it's basically the LED like wall light panels from Love Struck, and I tiled them and changed the lighting on each of them. It took me so long to do that because there's so many of them. Parts of them are kind of glitchy, but I thought that looked actually kind of cool, and I don't know, like it just like fit the vibe of the place. So now I'm just adding in these rave lights again, and guys, the lights, that was like the most insane part, was honestly fucking with all the lights. And going in and out of live mode. I had a sim brought here so I could adjust the lighting as I wanted. And I just like wanted to like see what it would look like being built with these sort of lights on. So like the party lights or whatever. A lot of LED signs. It's all over the place, but I love it. I love raving. I love EDM. There are so many different DJs that I'm just like dying to see. And this summer, I'm checking a bunch off my list. Like I'm making it a goal of mine to do that. And I'm seeing Chris Lake actually for the first time. He's one of my all-time favorite DJs and very like house music, just you know, straight up house music vibes, and I'm seeing him in July. I'm really excited. So I'll be in Brooklyn for that, and there's a bunch of DJs coming to Atlantic City, and I'm just gonna be beat-bopping all around, right? I'm going all over the place. So something I did here too was take those glow cubes from the, oh my God, what is that stuff pack called? Something Party. It was like a big fancy one. I don't know. And I took the glow cube from that and I stacked them to kind of make like a cool like stage prop sort of situation. And I took these giant like orb structures and put those on the stage as well. I wanted this stage to feel futuristic, but in a different way, not as like robotic, more like fun neon sort of situation. And that's exactly what I did. So this music festival is very like space themed. I feel like that's just like a lot of things that we have in the game right now. I don't know why, it's like really weird. And I ended up placing these ball lights from my wedding stories in blue and like a purplish pink. I'm so sorry. I used Journey to Batu Doors. I know, but it fit the aesthetic of the place, okay? We had to go with aesthetic here. There's no windows on this warehouse either, by the way. Like, you go in there, it's a black hole. There is nothing. You can't see shit outside. And I ended up using the Love Struck, like, fairy-looking lights on the outside of it. I sized up this giant neon sign on the side. I really am obsessed with the way that this all came together. Truly, this is probably my favorite build I've ever done. I don't know if I'm ever going to top it, which I shouldn't say that because I definitely want to strive to do better and better, but I really love this build. I feel like I poured so much of me into it, and I really genuinely, like, I don't know. I really am happy with the way that this place turned out and just the energy that it brings. Like, it's very vibrant, it's very fun, and your Sims will come here and have a really good time. I build all of these things as if my Sims ever leave their fucking house. I'm making it my goal of 2025 though, to like have my Sims leave and do things. It just gets boring. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I pigeonholing myself into this and not actually like going out and using my builds that I build? Come on, I'm putting so much effort into them. So that is definitely a goal for this year. I want to do a whole video of my sim going to Simcella and wearing really fun outfits and just going all out. Towards the front of the warehouse, like outside, that's that first little village of shops. And so I set up a couple different little stalls where your sims can actually sell things. So I'm thinking things that they have made or crafted, you know, maybe some crafted jewelry. That's a lot of things that you see at festivals. So I put 3 stalls on the build like that. So you can bring your sim here and they can sell things if they want even. And also obviously like food stalls and stuff like that too as well around. I wanted it to feel as realistic as possible and as close to an actual festival as it possibly could. And this wall inside I loved. It's covered in graffiti and posters and neon signs, and it just feels very like a mesh of so many different things. And it's just been accumulated over the years, you know? Like this festival is established in Windenburg, and you know, they've been around for a while. They've been around the block. It's not the type of festival that you want to, you know, turn your eye to. So now you'll see I'm going back to the main stage because I found this wall piece, which is I found this wall piece from Strangerville. Another weird thing. Why was I using so many different like weird packs? But I ended up using these wall pieces from Strangerville and using that as like the backboard for the stage instead. The other one just felt kind of like meh, like it wasn't anything like substantial, but like this feels cool, right? And it fits perfectly. So I tiled it all together and this is what I ended up coming up with. And I ended up moving the stairs in the back and making them a little bit bigger so that way it fit better because the wall pieces didn't fully fit 100% on the back. I genuinely I would come here. I would spend my money here. Are you kidding me? Like this is it just looks so cool. I would literally, me and my friends would have such a good time. I know it. But now I am going through and just like trying to add as many different like stage props basically as possible because I wanted the stages to feel substantial. Like I wanted them to feel like they weren't just like a random black stage like thrown into a field, you know? I wanted it to feel like they actually put effort and time into these pieces and built something really cool and put lights everywhere. Oh God, guys, I love it. I love it so much. I really need a bands pack. I need a bands pack so badly. It hurts my soul. And I'm not talking, I don't want just like a random, like I could throw together a band and like go play and like they throw in a couple new instruments. No, I'm talking, I want to be able to have a fucking music festival. I want my Sims to go on tour. I want the most insane music pack they've ever released because Showtime was so cool. I love Showtime. I love that you were able to like sell your album on the street. I want them to take that idea and expand on it for The Sims 4. I really want them to like elevate it. And I want them to I want to be able to make an album. I want to be able to make an album and have my Sims produce it and sell it, and you have to like work up to it. I want it to be an active career, honestly. I don't want like a freelance sort of situation. I want an active career where you select if you want to be in a band or if you want to be a solo artist. And you have to sign to a record label. You have to give them some of your royalties because that's how the fucking world works. It sucks, I know. And I really just want it to be a super elevated sort of Showtime sort of vibe. I don't know. I have a lot of wishes for a music pack. In case you can't tell, I love music. It's like my biggest passion in my life. And I feel very strongly about this because I also am very passionate about The Sims. So, you know, Sims team, if you need someone to like run this by that loves music and like works in music, like, hey, I'm right here, you know. There's no idea that's too big or too small. You know, I want intricate gameplay with this. I don't want them to fuck it up. I'll be really, really, really upset. But I digress. I also added in a cute little like roller rink in between 2 stages. So I wanted your Sims to have like a bunch of activities. So there's obviously the Ferris wheel. There's going to be roller skating, and there's going to be like bubble machines. There's going to be bars, like there's shit for your Sims to do. And now I am back in Debug land, which is really terrifying. It's the scariest part of The Sims. It's not organized, and I refuse to download a mod for it because I'm stubborn, and I don't know why. I just like to play vanilla. It's like, I love vanilla ice cream. I love vanilla cake. I love playing The Sims 4 vanilla. I'm sorry. It's who I am as a person, and I don't think I'll ever change. So I'm sorry about it. And there's so many great mods out there. Like, there's so many great things. There's so many great CC out there. It's just like it's not for me. Like, I don't know. I think because I was so used to playing on a Mac for so long that like, I don't know. I never was able to download it. So I was like, you know what? I got used to not playing with it. Even though my Sims 3, girl, that shit had so much CC in it. The alpha hair I had so many high heels, so many different nail polishes, the best clothes you could ever dream of. My Sims were serving fucking looks. Even though their faces were terrifying, I downloaded so much makeup. I was in it. I was so in it. And I don't know why, just like The Sims 4, I never downloaded it. I never got into CC, and that's like really unfortunate and sad. So I don't know. Now that I have like an actual gaming computer, I feel like I should start playing with it and like trying out different mods. So we'll see. 2025 is the year of trying new things, okay? We are doing new things. I launched a TikTok back in January. I was like, at first, really nervous to join TikTok as a simmer because I really wanted to like be focused on YouTube. I really wanted long form content. I wanted to get in the space of long form, and you know, I enjoy it a lot, but I also enjoy making TikToks, and I'm trying to like find the balance of like, okay, I'm going to cut down a YouTube video because that is TikTok content right there. And it's kind of like a self promo sort of situation, but also like, you know, getting into specific content just for TikTok. And I've definitely started growing into that space more, and it's not as scary as it once was. I honestly live and breathe TikTok. I'm on it all day, every day, and I use it for all of my work clients. So I'm used to it. I'm used to making TikToks. I'm used to coming up with trend ideas and everything like that, and like applying trends to different brands. So now it's just like applying it to myself. But you know, it's not as scary as it once was now that I'm like fully in it for, you know, like 4 months. But now I'm working on like the center fountain piece, and I thought this came out so fucking cool. I sized up a bunch of those trophies from Get Famous, and it just looks like stars bursting out of the water. I was like, holy shit, that is it. That's it, babe. That's the shit. And I ended up using that orb piece again that I used inside a giant butterfly, and those lights, those giant lights from Get Famous are all over this place. So when you zoom out, there's like giant lights floating everywhere, and they're all different colors. And when the fireworks are going, it just looks so cool, and I'm obsessed. Oh, I have 3. Didn't realize that I had 3 spaces for vendor villages. Like, that is cool. I feel like that was like, I threw in one last minute and I just like totally forgot about it. Like I said, this build took 6.5 hours worth of footage. We have a little, like we have like 20 minutes left. That's like really bad. Listen, I am trying, okay? I tried to cut this down as much as possible. I really did. I'm doing my best. And then this like, that one little like red art piece you keep seeing, I ended up putting in easels there because I was like, what is a cooler way for your Sims to like enjoy a festival than like listening to the music and then creating art, you know? And you can do the paint by reference right around there. So it'd be really cool to watch your Sims like paint what they're seeing. I think it's going to look so fucking sick. And I ended up placing down, this is now where I'm placing down all of the dance floors. So each stage has like a giant dance floor that, you know, if you want to have like a group of Sims congregate, you can just select it, make a group of Sims and go dance there all together. And I place them around every stage. I even place them on top of the one stage, or I place them on top of 2 stages. So the circle stage you can dance on, the main stage you can also dance on. The only 2 that you can't get up to is like the warehouse one and then the smaller space stage. So now I am working on some of the vendor villages and putting in a bunch of picnic tables so that way your Sims can like relax, you know, their feet are going to be tired, you know, and their platform boots that they're wearing. So I was like, you know what, they need spaces to sit down, to eat, relax, chill out, and I love it. I also play swings. I don't know why. I feel like your Sims, like, going to go get like a drink from the bar, like a Simsapolitan, and then going on some swings. I would love to go on some swings at a festival. That would be like peak for me. I think I would actually enjoy that more than dancing at the festival. I would just be swinging all day long. And now is when I'm starting to go up into like, this is sort of like the VIP section, right? So this is like where Sims will come up here and they like know the DJ, but they like don't know the DJ. And there's a bar up here, and I just think like this is where the cool Sims hang out, you know? This is their spot. That's where everyone who is someone in the Sims 4 world is hanging out, okay? And now I'm going in. I found a bunch of those like sound and lighting carts from Get Famous, and I placed those behind the stages too. So that way it just feels a little bit more realistic. Like there's actually like a setup here, okay? And like there is lighting and sound, and they really need to like make sure that everything is going well, or else it's gonna sound like shit, and that makes people nervous. Honestly, out of all 3 stages, I think the circle one might be my favorite. I just think it looks so cool. And I loved using those like art pieces that curve and making like a giant like square circle thing in the middle. I don't know. I really loved it. And then this is my favorite bar. I used the werewolves bar actually. I just thought it looked really cool. And even though it is a werewolves bar, it's like it's like subtle enough where it just looks like an old bus that they turned into a bar at this music festival. Guys, I love it. I love it so much. So now by this like statue situation, this is where I ended up putting like a bubble section. So this is where your Sims can come and use the bubble machine. And I ended up using kind of a weird seat here. I used mushrooms. I'm kind of alluding to the culture in this build, but I thought they looked so cute. And I was like, this looks like a place I would want to sit and blow some bubbles with my Sim friends. Girls, I am eating this the fuck up. I love it so much. So now you'll see like from the top down view, it's huge. There's a lot of different fucking sections. It stressed me out. I'm gonna be honest, it stressed me the fuck out. Landscaping this bitch, now this is me getting into the landscaping. This took so fucking long. I have never taken so long to landscape a build than this one. And it was just a bunch of fucking trees. Like, what? Like, that shouldn't take me that long. And I used trees that only had lights around them, or like the purple trees from Love Struck. I thought they looked cool, and they added a sort of je ne sais quoi to the build that I was really into, and I'm really into it still. And I love these trees. I forget what pack they're from. They low-key might even be from the new pack. I'm like not entirely positive, but I really wanted it to feel like a forest. Like I wanted you to feel like you were in a giant forest. You're on the island part of Windenburg. I keep building here. I've never built here before, and now I'm building here all the time. It is what it is. So after placing all the trees, I then went in with the low-lying plants that I always use and placed them all around the trees so that way it felt a little bit more built in. Not built in. Like they felt a little bit more natural. That was the vibe I was really trying to go for here. So I tried to fill in each space so that way each section was kind of like its own section. Obviously like the stages are pretty close together, so I wanted it to feel a little bit more separated, and using the trees really helped that. I ended up placing more fireworks. Guys, there's fireworks all over the place. I don't really know how the gameplay is going to work here, so I really need to test this out. I just thought it looked really fucking cool, so that I'm going to have to play with, for sure. It's a very artsy festival. This is a place where artsy Sims come to congregate and listen to music and just like let their creativity go. And I ended up placing tables around this bar with little like the friendship bracelet making stuff, which I know only children Sims can use, but I just like in my head was like, oh, it's like making candy. So your Sims will come here, make bracelets, even though they like technically can't. I feel like all Sims should be able to make the bracelets, if we're being honest. I feel like it's rude that only child Sims can make it, but I digress. And I ended up placing in a bunch of those Woohoo blankets from Love Struck as well because they fit a festival vibe. And there's a bunch of Woohoo spots here, guys. A bunch. And also for bathrooms, I used the bathroom stalls from City Living. I was like not gonna sit here and build fucking bathrooms for this. I was like, let's just use public restrooms. Like it's so much easier and it fits the aesthetic more. Why not just use that, right? But now we're getting into terrain paint. And this is where the build is really finishing up and I'm just like really trying to curvature the paths. I didn't want it to feel like super like built out. Like I wanted it to feel like they built around it, right? And the paths kind of like molded to what they needed. And that's pretty much the rest of the build. If we're being completely honest, it's just me layering the terrain paint and everything like that. Placing in some more lights because we obviously need more fucking lights to like, what are we talking about here? But now I think it's time that I take you guys on a tour of this massive festival. So let's go tour it. Okay, so this is the full build. She's a lot, I won't lie. There's a lot going on, but she's really cool. Look at that. I'm obsessed. So when you first walk up, here is the ticket stand and there's lights literally everywhere. So you first come in and you are then, oh my God, hello. So you are first entered into the sort of like center part where the giant water fountain is in the middle. And when you come over to the right side, this is like the vendor station. So, you know, you can hire a bunch of vendors and stuff like that to come here. I would recommend just like cheating the money and then giving it back. So yeah, this is the little vendor station. There's a couple bathrooms over here as well. And you make your way back over this way and you are then met with this giant like warehouse thing. What could be in here? Oh my God. And it is a giant club. So there's a bar in the back over here. There's a bunch of different like VIP sort of tables with a bunch of these like toasting buckets. I was like, yeah, champagne, duh, you need it. And you'll see it's like highlighting all of the dance floor. This is the one stage inside. And then this is the wall over here with a bunch of disco balls in here as well. You come back outside and you see around the corner, there's a little photo booth stand. There is some more bubble blowers over here, another bathroom, and some blankets and stuff. And this is the one stage. So this is like the main stage, basically. This is where the headliners will perform, okay? That's what it is. And like I gave it a red roof and shit. I was like, ooh, that eats. And then over here is sort of like the play section. So your Sims can go and do some roller skating. There's a set of swings over here. And then there's a bar right here as well for Sims to come grab some drinks and a bunch of tables to sit at, another bathroom. And then here is the tinier stage, sort of like the space sci-fi stage. And then right here is where your Sims can do some painting. And you come back around here, there's another little section of vendors, and this is where you can ride the Ferris wheel at the festival. And I put another photo booth over there as well. You know, your Sims want pictures in their cool outfits, okay? And then right here is another section where the Sims will perform. So this one has disco balls hanging from the whole thing. I think it looks so sick. And this is the outdoor stage with the giant circle, and your Sims can come up here and order drinks from the bar over this way. And there's some toast buckets up here as well and fireworks. It's definitely a hazard, but it's okay. And then you come back down this way into this section over here. There's more bathrooms, and this is like the little like tent village. So this is where Sims will sleep. My Sim is currently sleeping here. And then back over this way, there is more bubble blowers and a giant like photo op statue thing. And then here is the last little vendor village. And that is the entire music festival. I hope that you guys liked this video. And if you did, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. And I will see you all next time.